Mark the Realtor here with another episode of Montclair Must-Sees. In season 1, I did an episode on Walnut Street, concluding at the Farmers Market. Today, we're here to shine the spotlight on the Montclair Brewery. So if you all are ready, let's go inside and meet Leo, who's put this fabulous place together. Leo, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Welcome to Montclair Brewery.
I am so happy to be here. We want to share with everyone who's watching the excitement and the magic that goes on here right on Walnut Street. So I think a really natural place to start is, tell us how this came to be.
Montclair Brewery came to be from the desire of getting the community all together in one place and to strike conversation and get to know one another. And that's the reason why Montclair Brewery was open. It was all a dream.
Dreams are wonderful when they come true.
Absolutely.
Great.
It was a dream. Most people know me in Montclair as Coach Leo. So, Coach Leo, I've been coaching soccer for close to 15 years.
Yeah, that's very nice. So you definitely emphasize the Montclair. So I see about bringing the community together. We want to focus now a little bit on understanding the brewery part, how you came to do that, and the exciting thing is we're going to get to actually see inside the brewery portion of this wonderful establishment.
Brewing started 20 years ago for me. I was brewing from my basement, and my wife ended up kicking me out of the basement. And that's how the whole idea came to be, about looking for a place to open a brewery where people can sit down and have a beer. But I did learn to brew beer from my mom.
Oh.
I'm from West Africa, and you know in West Africa, all the brewers are women. Never a man will try making beer.
So you were a brave one, so you learned from your mom.
Yes.
And then you bring that skill set here into this brewery.
Exactly.
Okay.
So given that, I've learned from her, and I've been brewing for quite some time, and that's the reason why we opened up Montclair Brewery.
Well, there's a lot for us to dive into. We're not going to dive into a beer vat.
Right.
But I do want to get our viewers a view of where the beer is made. So
Exactly.
we'll proceed in
We're
this
standing
direction.
right now into the tap room. This is where people come in and sit down by the bar and try some of our 24 beer on tap.
Right.
So, but all the beer get to be made right here in the brew house.
Oh my gosh.
That is the brew house. So this is Adam, he's the brewer. So we make all the beer from this tank. So the beer get to be boiled and transferred here for fermentation.
So, I got some technical questions. How long does it take to make beer? Is it better if it takes a longer period of time? And how much beer do you produce? So, how long does it take to make beer?
Some of the most consumed beer in the world are lager. So the lagering time period takes anywhere from six weeks to 7 weeks. That's the lagering period. So when we make some lager. Everybody know our lager called MD Lager, Montclair Brewery Lager. And then also we got the ale. Ale is one of the shortest time that it takes to ferment. It takes anywhere from 7 days to 8 days to complete. So those are the difference between lager and some of the ale or Indian Pale Ale.
So some of my interest is going to the various names on these tanks.
Yes. So this tank was named by the community itself. So when we install all the equipment, then some of our donors, we did a fundraiser, and then we asked the people, say, can you baptize the tank and give it a name?
That's great.
And that's why, even most of our table got a gold plate from most of the people that donate us something.
What is the capacity of one of these
These
tanks?
are 7 barrels.
But it's so funny to see the regular keg size, which we always consider to be a lot of beer, next to the grandpappy of the beer capacity.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Yeah. So this is the brewing process. Right now, I'm brewing a cherry fresh. It's a cherry sour beer,
Right.
which take a different type of technique to brew. It takes actually 2 days to brew that kind of beer.
And what'd you say, the cherry type?
It's a cherry fresh. Cherry fresh is a cherry sour beer. You know, this is the first step. We brew it, let it rest, and add some lactic basilic in there, and then overnight, and then tomorrow we start the boil, and then transfer.
Where, I think one of my questions is where do you procure your ingredients and when you decide to go for different recipes?
There's many companies that sell these ingredients. You can get anywhere. I don't want to name them.
Okay, you don't want to give out your sources.
All it takes is a phone call or an email to say, hey, I need this and that. And then you get a shipment the next day.
There's a wonderful area outside here where people, it can take on the texture of a beer garden sometimes when I've gone by.
Yes.
So I was in this neighborhood last Saturday, I heard live music coming from the back, which has made me come around the building and see a whole music festival was going on. So when you talk about bringing the community together, it's both indoors and outdoors. There's a convivial feeling here, and all of that sort of emanates from the goodwill and the good spirit that Leo has.
Well, the reason why we was able to have this, transform our parking lot into a beer garden is because when COVID hit, we had to change, we had to adapt to the situation. No one could get into the tap room, so we're not gonna close business. We're not gonna close shop. So we start up making can and delivering to customers.
Very good.
We designed a system that make the beer available to the customer by delivering that to their house. And we end up asking the town, what if we can get everybody back here together in one big place and then keep everybody at distance? Would that work? And the town said, absolutely.
Right.
So that's how we went out there, bought some tent, built up a stage, and put some chair all over the parking lot, and then people show up. It was just incredible. And we call up two bands and say, why don't you guys come here and play?
Yeah.
So it took off from there. So the interest of Montclair Brewery is to produce local bands, people that was unable to get a job during the COVID time. These are the people we're interested in having here, so we can provide them something to survive during the COVID.
I'm standing next to a man who thinks for the community, and it's very heartwarming to spend some time with you.
I'm part of the community, so that's absolutely, we open to anything. We did a lot of fundraising for a lot of other businesses.
Right.
In the beginning of the COVID, we was part of what we call Small Business Live. It was a fundraiser to fund all these businesses that was unable to survive during COVID.
Right.
So we made some beer called All Together, and that beer, we raised up a lot of money. We end up giving it to the ambulance unit. And then also we got on with all the protests that was going on. We team up with other breweries from around the globe to make what we call Black is Beautiful. And that money we was able to fund people that fight inequality and justice. We was able to fund these people. Right now we have a beer called Curtains Up to fund all the Broadway artists that was unable to perform during the COVID. That's what we're here for.
I'm speechless, which is a first. So now we've been joined by Denise. Denise and Leo as depicted in this wonderful mural, big smiling faces on the mural and big smiling faces here. Denise, why don't you share a little bit of your side of the Montclair Brewery story?
Well, as I'm sure Leo must have mentioned, we've been living in Montclair for over 15 years. Leo kind of had the idea about opening up a brewery. We knew that we wanted to have it in Montclair. So we have a child here in Montclair that we've raised in Montclair. I had always been very active in the PTAs, so we really knew a lot of people in the community, so we knew it made sense to open up a business where we lived. Within the brewery, I handle all the non-production. So I do almost everything else besides make the beer. I'll leave that up to him and Adam. So being part of the community, and our slogan is actually building community one beer at a time. Yeah, so we are very fortunate that we have an outdoor space. We are able to host outdoor events. So that's part of the role that I play here too, as community liaison or events director. We really saw a need in the brew community for a brewery to do something a little bit different. And being the nature of who we are, we bring our background and our cultures to this business. So him being from West Africa, my family being from the Caribbean, Jamaica. So that's very important for us to bring those elements to the business and to what we do. We will have our Jamaica Independence Day celebration out there in the back. It's going to be tons of fun. We have a reggae band that will be coming to play for several hours. So it's going to be a wonderful event. In September, the last Saturday in September, we always have our Oktoberfest event. So we'll be doing that again too. So it's very important that we put out different events to give people an opportunity to come out and socialize in a safe space with their friends and family and with the overall community. And on top of it, get to drink delicious beers at the same time.
And what you're doing and the joy and the spirit and involving the community, this is what makes Montclair unique. And Leo, thank you so much for taking the time to do that.
Thank you.
I want to encourage everybody to come by, enjoy outside, enjoy inside, all the various libations that Leo has discussed. Meet this fellow in person. I'm sure half the town already knows him. Come by, say hello, and if you are interested, please push the red button below and subscribe. Check out our future videos. Thank you.